Okay, we live.
EFE, but fuck DJ. All right, what up, everyone? Welcome to the Runners. This is Mike Tharp. As always, I'm with Ricardo Hamilton. We have an amazing show tonight. We're going to be talking about digital real estate, NFTs, the blockchain, and how you can secure your wealth with assets. The internet might be a little choppy tonight. I apologize. We're going to do our best to try to get this information out. Ricardo, it's Friday. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing excellent, brother. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about where we're going and this information that we're sharing. I'm telling you, folks, it's life transforming because we're ahead of time. You know, this space is so wide open. There's so much opportunity. And if you plug in and you apply your paper in the right digital assets, I'm telling you, when you look back, you're going to be glad that you did, and the future generations will be as well. Next level stuff here, folks. Next level.
I'm coming out. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I'm a Cisco 49er fan, obviously. So Ricardo and I are a little remote tonight, but we want to make sure we cover the markets like we always do. So real quick, gold at under 1,700 today. Like we said, for whatever reason, they're rigging the gold market down. Silver, again, crashing, falling, down 5% on the week, down to $25.30. That's kind of a big deal, Ricardo. It fell below Google.
So dropped the position. Yeah.
So guys, just sell your silver. Just sell your silver. It's game over.
Right.
No, we don't need it anymore for every application in the technological world.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to scare people into selling their silver, especially in this environment that we're in. But you obviously be more wise. This is when you buy. You don't buy on the way up. They say you sell. And then when it's on the way down, that's when you buy. That's the logic. And this is why you want to buy right now, because they're just, killing the price, the paper contract price, not the real value, but the price of this asset. And you want to get more. You want to get as much as you can. As much of it as you can.
Well, without a doubt. So let's see what's going on in the crypto market. Bitcoin up about 4% today at 48,833. Kind of a up and down week this week. Let's look at the 24-hour here. And Polygon, I really like. That was up 15% today. But look at the losers. That's what I want to get. So talked about Engine having a huge rise.
That looks good to me. I'm
down 10%.
Yeah.
Data. So that's what you want to do, guys. You want to buy red, sell green. So right. Theta, which is one of my favorites, hit up to.
Was it
where were we this week?
50, 460, something, 480?
About 470.
470. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 470. It hit at the high.
I'm buying more.
Yep, and it's. Yep. So yeah, I mean, you could get in now if you wanted to. Down a little bit. Wait till it hits under 4. But again, when you want to buy, it's just going to keep changing because it just keeps going up.
Yeah.
So kind of our show tonight, Ricardo, and you just give me a chance here because I have to do a little bit different with the laptop. But I mean, this is kind of what we're going to be talking about. Is here comes, let me throw that up there. Here comes the boom in the real estate market by COVID-19. Virtual worlds like Decentraland could be well placed to capitalize. And like we talked about before, Decentraland's been around for a couple years. Here we go. This is the article, paragraph I wanted to read. Not only is digital real estate capable of delivering outsized returns due to its alignment with the rapidly growing crypto investment universe, but it also appears likely to become a viable store of wealth. Almost like real-world art and real-world real estate, digital real estate exists inside virtual worlds, each of its own digital nation, with a system of clearly delineated irrevocable property rights. buying land today in virtual worlds feels a lot like buying land in Manhattan back in 1750. It is also insulated from the COVID-induced volatility of real-world real estate industry. And Ricardo, I was telling somebody about this today, and they're like, yeah, but it's not real. I said, no, it is real. It's verifiable. It can't be confiscated. The government can't take it away from you. So anything you want to add to that, Ricardo, of just, trying to shift people's minds to understand how important this is?
Well, it's just like you said, I talked about on the last show, what is real? Energy goes where attention flows. Okay. And so there are a lot of things, they couldn't measure, gamma waves at one point. They couldn't measure, the waves in space. I can't remember they couldn't measure black holes. At one time, these were ideas. They said the Earth was the center of the universe, the thing is that the concept of what's real and what is not is based on a community of people. There's something called a tulip bubble. Somebody today would never think a tulip was money. Okay. But at a point in time, to tulip was money. Okay. So what is real and what is not real is conjectural, it's opinion, it's perception. And understand that where the world is right now, like they talk about what's going on with COVID, and because of the technology, we're moving into a technological era. Okay. NFTs, digital assets, digital land, it's real, folks, because we're moving into a new reality. People just have this kind of normalcy bias, complacency bias, cognitive dissonance. They just assume that everything is going to be the same forever the way that it's been, and we'll never experience anything radical or any type of shift on the planet. And it's literally happening right now. We're going through a shift on the planet, okay? Even when you talk about the weather, like what happened in Texas or whatever, all these other places, there are people talk about the poles are shifting. We're moving through this space in this universe, and things change. In fact, the only thing constant in the universe is change, okay? And so it's those who evolve with the times. It's those who wake up and realize and actually stop and say, hold on, let me look at this thing a little closer. That's where the wealth transfer is. It's those people who actually look at something and take advantage. And I'm telling you, folks, this is why you need to stay plugged in. This is why you need to put yourself in position in this realm, because it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. The wealthy are getting into it. The average person are getting into it. But now it's an even playing field. This is what I like about it most, Mike. Before, to get into something like this, you had to be an accredited investor, it was an IPO, all this other, it was managed, it was manipulated, they allowed only a certain people in, and then they let others in at any other time. Well, you can go buy some engine right now, okay? You can go get you some Bitcoin right now. You can get an NFT right now. You can create your own NFT, okay? You can create your own smart contract. There is no gatekeeper, okay? This is decentralized, all right? And so this is where it gets exciting. So dream bigger.
I love it. And kind of what's up to Stars? We had her on the show last week. Love her. We are experiencing the largest transfer of wealth right before our eyes. It's time to get in instead of watching it. And Jasmine, that's the problem, is people are not taking action. So guys, that's why we're here, to give you the information and you to take action. Now, if you're running with the runners and you're in our Facebook group, you already knew what we were going to talk about tonight. We're talking about something called website, and Miranda's. They now have one game called where people can pay and get paid in crypto, and a new one coming out, which is going to be huge, is going to be Miranda's. And I've been watching and listening to a lot of the people in this community, and I love this community. It has, millions of people plugged in. They're serious about these games. They love what they're doing. And I heard, somebody on the team talk about how there's to really make it so people in third world countries could make a few dollars a week, because in those countries, making $10 a week can make the whole difference for a family. And, that's what we do with 7K, is we can help people get $250 a week, $500 a week, and that can completely change their life. So we have a guy who has been with Gala Games and, been in their ecosystem and in their community for a couple years now. So I want to bring him on. He's the guy that kind of educated me about what was going on. So John, you are live now. Welcome to the Runners family.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome.
So yeah,
So
I'm
John,
really
can you just kind of give people some background, like what?
sure. Yeah. So I mean, I've been involved since the beginning with Gala Games. I was involved when it was just an idea. We didn't have games. We didn't have a website. We didn't have the Node network. There was nothing. It was really just I knew one of the people who was the founders of this, and I believed in the vision. I'm all for decentralization. I understand that, by getting in front of a trend, you can capitalize, but more so than that, what I really understood is that, with blockchain, we're seeing now, like in the past 10 years, the first applications of it, like with Bitcoin was the first application. Then we're seeing things like Ethereum with like smart contracts, and DeFi is built on top of that. It's kind of like the internet back in the day. Like nobody could have ever saw like Netflix coming out 20 years later. And like right now we're seeing this blockchain enter all these different markets, and gaming is a huge market that blockchain really fits in well because, you know, um, you have gamers who play traditional games right now. They spend money to upgrade their character. They spend money to get a competitive advantage. They spend money on in-game assets, but the problem is all this stuff's stored on like centralized servers. So it's controlled by the gaming companies. There's no verifiable scarcity. There's no real player ownership. And so there's a real unique opportunity with blockchain and gaming to really set games free. It comes down to, player ownership of in-game assets and also ownership of the roadmap of, specifically Gala Games. So like I said, I've been involved from the beginning. The people who are behind Gala Games, they're not just like blockchain people trying to build a game. They're real legit AAA game developers who have actually pioneered the gaming industry. If you guys remember the early days of Facebook, those new free-to-play type games that came out around the time Facebook came out, it was like Words with Friends, Mafia Wars, Farmville. They're not the most hardcore games, but the fact of the matter is these are the type of games that everybody can play and that millions of people play. I think farming games is like the most popular type of games out there. So, I mean, that's the direction we started in. We have one game currently. It's called Town Star. It's a farming simulator. You could join for free. You get a free wallet, secure your seed phrase. You can actually earn real cryptocurrency in the game without putting a dime in. And I heard you talk a little bit about our upcoming game, Mirandus, that's going to be coming out at the end of this year. But we actually have like 7 more games that are even coming out. What's cool about Gala Games is they're not actually just building games themselves. They're really open to other game studios coming in and building. And, what they're really about is helping decentralize the whole gaming industry because they truly believe that, you know, if you buy something in a game or if you win something in a game, that should be yours. You should own that. You should have the right to be able to give it to somebody. You should have the right to be able to sell it. That stuff shouldn't be dictated by centralized, gaming studios. And there's going to be a real shift in the direction of the way the gaming industry is going. And we have a real unique opportunity with Gala Games to position ourselves on the forefront of that. I often use the analogy like if I would have had the foresight back before cell phones came out to put a cell phone tower on my property, before cell phones even went mainstream, hindsight's always 2020. That's why I bought some of these nodes because I believe in the mission. And a node is just a little piece of software that you download on your MacBook or Windows device, and it helps support the network. It's my dog. Sadie, you're in the video. um, there's all types of ways to support the network. Nodes playing for free, and we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. There's so much more coming down the pipeline in the roadmap, and it's 3 to 5 years from now, there's going to be no such thing as a non-blockchain game. People aren't going to want to play traditional games anymore. I could go on forever, but maybe if you guys can ask me some specific questions, I can kind of.
Yeah, definitely. So our brother Ramon is another, decentralized video game blockchain. But can you maybe talk about running a node, as plans are for decentralizing everything, and how that brings power and back to the people?
So yeah, I mean, Gala's long-term plan is to have everything be run across the node network. So they want to get it to the point where they're just basically they're curating the games, they're developing the games, but then everything is just pushed out to the nodes. For example, our game Townstar right now is it's ran from a central server in Oregon. But with the new update that's going to be pushed out to the nodes coming out in the next month or two, they're using an interplanetary file system. It's not quite a blockchain. We do use blockchains, but we're using this because it's a way for the game itself to actually be hosted across the node network. So, for example, if if I'm in Asia and I'm trying to access Townstar, I have to ping the server all the way in Oregon, which could create like lagging or things like that. So if we can push out the actual game files, which is about 80 to 100 megabytes of data across the node network, then if I have a node and I'm running a node in Asia, right, and then somebody tries logging in and playing Townstar in Asia, it's just a better way of distributing our games. So, I mean, even if Gala Games goes down, the games are hosted across the node network. So it's just another way to decentralize, the games, And I'm sure there'll be more ways that aren't even invented yet, but that's just one of the ways they're talking about doing it.
And I think, you mentioned something to me before about what Steam does, which is like another online gaming platform, but they're a centralized authority and a server. So if you can talk about how they take a lot of the profits from video games and players, and then the same with the app stores.
Yeah, so that's like a huge problem. So in traditional gaming right now, a lot of these games, I mean, they're great games, they definitely capture the audience and the player base. But the problem is that they're specifically designed to squeeze as many bucks out of the players as possible. And the reason why they're designed this way is because in order for a game to be listed on, the App Store or the Play Store or advertised on Facebook, a lot of these places are taking like 30%. So 30 cents on every dollar. So really, game studios traditionally aren't making games in the best interest of the gamers. A lot of the creativity is dying. So if me as a game developer, which I'm not, but if I was a game developer and I had this awesome idea because I love gaming, and I went to like the big wigs of a company and I was like, hey, listen, I want to build this game. The players will love it. It'll blow up. They'll just shoot you down because it's not about making the bucks. It used to be that way. You used to be able to make games because the game developers were gamers themselves, but that's not the case anymore. So games are specifically designed to squeeze as much money because they have to meet that profit margin. If it's costing, X amount of dollars to bring in X amount of players, they need to meet that because they're a business, or else they'll go down. So, the way Gala is doing it different, they're building outside of that centralized type of thing. So we're not on the Play Store. We're never, ever going to be. We're not on the App Store. We're never going to be. A lot of what we have right now, it's browser based. It's actually using a new technology called PWA. It's a certain type of web app that runs off HTML5. So if I open up my Gala games on my phone, right, I can go into my browser settings and click install, and it puts it right to my home screen. No difference than an app. It looks exactly like an app. It acts like an app. But you see, Gala would rather just keep that 30% and give it back to the players or put it towards development to give gamers a better experience, so we could actually create games in the best interests of the players. And it's simple. It's a simple concept.
So, John, am I missing something, or did this Citadel of the Sun sell for 2,308 Ethereum?
All right, so just to be clear, that's what the Citadels are currently selling for right now. Every Citadel that sells, it doubles. So the first Citadel of the
Wow.
Sun actually sold for 800,000. The second Citadel of the Stars actually sold for 1.6 million, and then the next one will sell for 3 point whatever that is. But they're selling, yeah, it's digital real estate. Like you're like this Citadel. It's so in the game of Mirandus, it's ruled by these five citadels, five player monarchs, if you will. And, as part of the purchase of one of these citadels, you'll actually have a say in the direction of the game development. I'll give you an example. So Polyant Games did the first purchase of that Citadel of the Sun, and they're going to be actually responsible for, and I don't even think we talked about this, but Polyant Games is a partnership with Gala Games, so they're responsible for kind of, creating the financial layer within the game of Mirandus. So what that's going to look like is, if you've ever played an RPG game, you know that you can only fit so many items in your backpack. So they're kind of putting out what's called the Polyant vaults. They're kind of like smart contracts that you can leave your items in. Like if I have an abundance of items and I can only hold so much in my backpack, I could actually like put my items into a safe audited smart contract where another player could potentially rent that item and lease it or rent it, and I could make a passive income off that. Also, there's going to be collateral DeFi opportunities, because like Polyant Games is really kind of like a DeFi bridge, and kind of an incubator and a liquidity provider for gaming platforms. They're pretty bullish on NFTs, and they really see this as the next trend.
So I found out that today. So guys, just so you understand what he's saying here, there's basically now banks in video games. And what you can do is store your tools there, and then people rent them out.
Immutably, safely, just like a smart contract. So the item actually never leaves the smart contract. So technically it never leaves your control. It's put into an escrow smart contract, where when certain conditions are met, the game allows the person to have a representation of that item, so we could use it in the game. But the item is safe, and it could be through a time limit. I don't know. It's we're yet to see how that's going to work, but the basic idea of it is like, guess what? Like all these things you win in the game, you can now put those to work for you if you're not using them yourself.
And what this comes down to, guys, is real ownership. Verifiable, scarcity of things, because like Ricardo and I talk about all the time, is everything we see is a digital illusion. The derivatives market, the stock market, the bond market, the silver market. It's just fake paper stuff that, the rich, wealthy, and elite manipulate. So Ricardo, just from what you've heard from what John's been talking about, what are your thoughts on just how big of a deal is this to normal everyday people?
I was just thinking, it doesn't matter if you like games or not. It doesn't matter your perspective on games and online gaming and the gaming community. You just have to understand that there's value there, and you want to step in the flow of money. You want to put yourself in position to be in the flow of that money, that wealth transfer, because folks, there's value there. I'm not an online gamer. I'm not really a gamer, okay? But trust me, I can see the value in putting up a cell tower before the cell companies, okay, need to actually use it. I mean, it's next level, folks, because the other thing I like that he mentioned, though, he talked about ownership, okay? Now I'm playing a game, right? If I'm a gamer, I'm playing a game, but now I literally own this. It takes it to the next level, because for some people, games are real, okay? Games are real. They're working very hard to, build up their profile, build up their status, create the best experience that they can have, and they put money into it, okay? They're hard-earned dollars. Like he mentioned, they'll buy a product and they'll buy this to give them a better advantage. This is real, folks. Okay. And so when you're talking about blockchain and smart contracts and NFTs and this decentralized space, and like I mentioned before, there is no gatekeeper. There is no, well, you guys can't really get into it yet until it goes public, or, you know, or something of this nature. No, everybody has the opportunity to position themselves in this space and acquire, you know, certain NFTs, or get this node. You know, I'll be getting my node tonight. Okay. Quite frankly, you know, it's next level. And like he said, you know, I love it. It's, you know, he said 3 to 5 years. It could pop off next year. It might take 5 years, but understand that you're in position. Okay. Because one thing I know for sure, 5 years is going to come. Okay. But what did you do with your paper right now before that 5 years came? You understand? That's what separates, you know, the people who are going to live their best life, and as opposed to people who are saying, well, I saw it and I wish I had, but I didn't.
Yeah, and so guys, there's lots of ways to get involved, you know, and I'm doing my research every day. I found out about Gala. I think it's great. I love the community. I love the idea. I love the decentralization. But you could play for free. Now, if you want to get signed up and all that, you want to join the Runners Facebook group. We have a post in there with all the information for you to get started. So wherever you're watching this, there's a link to join the Runners Facebook group. Once you're in there, you can get started. And everyone who's already running, you knew last night what was going down. So, you know, you can play for free. If you just want to buy the crypto, you can go and buy Gala on Uniswap and a couple other exchanges. I'll pull them up here in a minute. But John, can you kind of give us because to me, as a person who loves passive income, who loves residual income, and who wants to support something like this, that's what's so great about all this is we get to support communities that spread freedom, liberty, and allow people to do what they want to do. So maybe just kind of give a quick overview of like how the node works, you know, why you might want to have one, and maybe just kind of hit kind of the big topics like we talked about, you know, the first time you introduced it to me.
Sure. So, you know, in order to decentralize anything, there needs to be a network of decentralized endpoints, and the node is that endpoint. So, you know, it's a unique opportunity to be a part of like owning that cell phone tower. I use that example. It's you know, and very simply, it's not like this complex like miner like you would see right here. This is a GPU mining rig that it's nothing like that. That's totally separate. Like what this is, it's a very simple piece of software, lightweight software that doesn't use a lot of electricity. You can very easily buy it, download it, and install it. It works on any regular Mac computer or Windows computer. It doesn't get in the way of your day-to-day stuff. You know, you can still continue to work. You can still surf the internet. It's not going to lag your computer down. But, you know, what it's actually doing is it's just running an instance, and it's just allowing Gala Games to know that you're connected to it. It's holding a decentralized copy of our ledger. So like I said, it's not doing much at this point, but for running your node, you're actually rewarded Gala tokens, and that can change going day to day. You know, it's never a constant number, but very simply, for operating this node, you're rewarded Gala tokens, which has value right now. I think it's up like 10% today, the coin. And it can very well go up in the future by a lot, and it can go down too. You know, just be honest with you. So not only do we receive Gala token, we actually receive NFTs. We get NFT drops for our games. Right now, you know, there's a lot more nodes than NFTs. So you may not get one every day or every week, but, you know, maybe a couple weeks before you get one. But I kind of just want to take a peek into the future and humor me for a minute. So there's a new game coming out. It's called Fortified. It's kind of like a tower watch game, like a guard tower type game, kind of like Clash of Clansy. And new NFTs are going to be dropped across the Node network towards the end of this month. So, I mean, I can't speculate on what the value for those is, but I can definitely tell you, based on my experience in the space so far, anything that has a use case within a game and a verifiable scarcity will have value. Will that be $10? Will that be $100? Will that be $1,000? I don't know, but the value's there. And the point is that I want to get across. These are just some of the rewards for running a node. And, you know, Tower Watch will have its own cryptocurrency that starts getting released to the node. So down the road, we'll be getting Gala. We'll be getting, you know, this game's coin, that game's coin, the next game's coin, and node sets for each game. And this can include NFTs that are just collectible art that have to do with the game, or NFTs that have like a real use case within the game and give the player a competitive advantage.
I mean, when I found, you know, John, you were there. Sean didn't have to sell me on this. I was like, when you told me what was going on, I'm like, you're telling me I can buy a node one time, easily run it on any computer, and get paid passively in Gala, get NFTs, and get all the cryptocurrencies of all the other games they're producing. And guys, these are like, this isn't just some guys in a garage. I mean, these are like AAA video games that are designing and coming out. And I love it because it's designed by like the players and, you know, the real people that are gamers, not a bunch of corporate suits who are just looking to screw people over. I mean, my kids spend, I don't even want to tell you how many dollars on Fortnite, and they get nothing for that. They can't sell those things. If they lose their account, they're gone. There's no way to profit from it. It's just Fortnite extracting wealth from, you know, kids, and they really have nothing to do with it. Whereas now we can talk about teenagers even, you know, owning NFTs, owning digital real estate. I mean, this is a complete game changer to everything we've ever known in our entire society, economy, education, entertainment. So, I mean, again, join the Runners Facebook group. All the information's in there. I've made a video on how to set up the node. It's super simple. It takes about not even 5 minutes. And you don't need to have it run the whole day, just 6 hours to get your full rewards. So Ricardo, any last words you want to add, you know, just about what we're witnessing here in a complete transformation of everything we've ever known?
Well, think and dream bigger, folks. You know, as I'm processing this information, it's the multiverse. Okay? It's the multiverse. And you can have your own stake in any particular universe that's being created and developed right now on the blockchain. It's huge, folks. I mean, it's just getting started. But I was also thinking about when I used to play 98 Madden, you know, I used to play 99 Madden, 2000 video games. I mean, look how video games and entertainment has changed in a decade or two, folks. And now we're talking about, you know, NFTs and crypto and blockchain and smart contracts and digital assets. Well, what do you think this is going to be in 5 years, 10 years? I mean, you see what happened with regular traditional games. And like Mike talked about how people didn't even have a monetary incentive or the type of ownership and advantage. And you see the transformation that has taken place, you know, from Nintendo and Sega and all these other, you know, consoles and stuff over 10, 20 years. Well, folks, I mean, you know, it's the multiverse. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge, folks. And it's just getting started. You know, it's just getting started. So I'm excited, man. This is it's mind blowing. Definitely mind blowing.
John, thank you so much for coming on. I know I gave you short notice, but I appreciate, you know, your passion. Obviously, you love, you know, this project. You've been with it for so long. Any last words that people should know? Any place you want to have them follow you or anything you want to promote? Go for it.
I just wanted to point out one thing, you know, see, Gala Games is not doing anything different than what's already happening in traditional games. There's already a market for this. People are already spending millions of dollars in games. Whether you know it or not, it's happening. So Gala Games is really just developing games that like kind of harbor that, you know, they want people to be able to own it. So it's not like we're creating this market that doesn't exist out of nothing. Like, it's happening. I had no idea till about 2 years ago how big this was. So, you know, like the cell phone tower, you know, like the internet before it first started, you know, like crypto in the very beginning, you know, we had all these kind of like things we've seen, you know, the ICOs in 2017, all the trading that happened in 2018. NFT is such a unique niche that's happening across like art and gaming right now, and it's still super early. And, you know, whether you understand it or not, start researching, get involved. Gala Games is a beautiful opportunity to get involved for free. You can earn an NFT for free right now. You could sign up right now today, play the game, get your friend to play the game, and you have an NFT in your wallet that you can go ahead and sell on OpenSea right now for hundreds of dollars, or you could save it for the future. You can follow me on Facebook. Just search John Tatro. I'm always posting about Gala Games. You know, I'm on Twitter, The Silent Truth Speaks. You know, feel free to message me if you know, you need some information on it. Definitely jump in our Discord. Once you sign up for free for Gala Games, you can click right on the top, join our Discord. It's a company, Gala Games. There's information in there about how to play Townstar, you know, nodes, everything. You name it, it's in there. We have a community of thousands of people just waiting to help you.
Yeah, and that's what I saw too, is the community is really amazing, especially in the Discord. And that's what you want to see. As I've been in the crypto sphere for, you know, 4 or 5 years, is you want to follow who has the following, who has the real users that believe in this blockchain and this mission. And you know, Brady said, could these nodes advance social platforms like YouTube into a whole different galaxy? No, I think it will end YouTube. It will end centralized authorities. It will promote things like Gala Games, like Theta TV, because we no longer need centralized authorities. If you guys didn't catch it, what John was saying is an entire video game can be run decentralized without a server from Amazon or a server from Google. It's literally run by us running those nodes, so they can't be taken down. What if people in Townstar don't allow transgender, misgender, whatever some PC thing is, and they try to take a video game down? We don't have to worry about that anymore. So this is a complete, you know, new revolution. John, thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely have to have you come back on soon and just give us an update on what's going on with Gala and just the whole, you know, NFT gaming experience that's happening. So thank you, John. Appreciate it, brother.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Definitely. Have a good night, bro. All right, Ricardo, I think that's it. I will just go ahead and again let everyone know we got the runners.shop, the runners.shop. We just dropped some new some new stuff last night, Ricardo, if people were on. I think it's just in the hoodies now that I'm looking at it.
Well, we had some other new stuff on the last show. I'm seeing the stuff that was, okay, there we go, God's Money. I remember somebody asked me about that shirt too, something. I can't remember what I saw. But yeah, we got God's Money and the people's money. Got some new products back there, some merch. So definitely get your merch. And of course, you guys already know, look, I talk about Salt Lake City. Got to be in Salt Lake City in May, running with the runners, folks. Major news coming out in regards to 7K. But look, man, this is exciting. You know, I'm ready to get my node. I'm ready to position myself. I see what the future is. You just want to be in position. You know, this is what we talk about, multiple streams of income. You know what I mean? This is what we talk about, you know, putting yourself in position to create a legacy, generational wealth. You own stuff. You own, you say scarcity, the rarity of something. It's phenomenal.
Congratulations to Brenda, got her node today as well.
Oh, okay. Congratulations, Brenda.
And guys, I just want to be really clear here. It's not that, you know, we're not still buying silver every day. It's not that we forgot about 7K. It's that 7K has given us the foundation to do these things. We've built a home-based business in the real world. We get real assets delivered to our door every day, which allows us to have the cash flow to do these types of things where we can go and buy an online node for a video game and earn passive income with it. So this is what the rich and the wealthy do. They buy assets that create cash flow so that they don't have to work and they don't have to worry about it. They can get ahead of the technology and the trends that are happening and position themselves to get even more. That's why the wealth gap keeps growing, because so many people are just stuck trying to work and trade their time for money that they don't have that capital. That's what we're trying to help you guys to see. But the backbone, the foundation is a 7K metals business where you're exchanging, fake declining dollars for real world physical silver and gold and numismatic coins, the highest asset class there is. So Ricardo, any last words? Other than that, I'm ready to go and play some poker and have some fun with my boys.
Awesome. No, I'm good, brother. Awesome show. Excited about the potential, and I'm about to get my note. So, yeah.
And anyone, if you want more info or you're like, why didn't you guys post your links? It's because you got to be running with the runners, guys. Join the Facebook group wherever you're watching this, Facebook, YouTube. There's a place to join the Facebook group. Do that. There's information's already in there right on the top. It might take us a little time to approve you to get in the group because we have hundreds of people asking a day, and I got to filter through all the spammers and people that aren't. You got to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, I just decline you. We don't have. If you can't answer 4 questions in our Facebook group, that's going to change your life. You're not ready to run with the runners.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
All right, you kids have a great Friday night. We'll see you here tomorrow, Saturday, 9:30 Eastern Standard.
Peace.
Peace.